One November morning in 2004, Theo van Gogh got up to go to work at his film production company in Amsterdam. He took out his old black bicycle and headed down a main road. Waiting in a doorway was a Moroccan man with a handgun and 2 butcher's knives. As Theo cycled down the Lennestraat, Mohammed Bouyeri approached. He pulled out his gun and shot Theo several times. Theo fell off his bike and lurched across the road, then collapsed. Bouyeri followed. Theo begged, "Can't we talk about this?" But Bouyeri shot him 4 more times, then took out one of his butcher's knives and sawed into Theo's throat. With the other knife, he stabbed a 5-page letter onto Theo's chest. The letter was addressed to me. This is a book called Infidel by annonymous. This whole thing going on with Thunderf00t and Dawah films is a sad distraction because it's really getting away from the whole purpose of the May 20th Everyone Draw Muhammed Day. It's something that I will be participating in. I've already written up a script for a short video that I'm going to be making. It is far more offensive than anything that Thunderf00t or anyone else has said so far. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be competitive or anything. I'm just saying I've written up this script and it is going to be really, really obscene. And I want to explain why I'm going to do this. Because so many people have completely missed the point of an event like this. People see this Draw Muhammed Day as something that's childish, that's some kind of just playground bullying, and it's just not. I mean, it might be for some people, but for me, it couldn't be less childish. It's the most grown-up way of responding to a situation like this. When Mohammed Bouyeri attacked and killed Theo van Gogh, that's when we should have committed to this. When the embassies were being attacked, when the riots were going on because a few cartoons were drawn in Amsterdam, that's when we should have been responding to this. It just happens to be that this most recent threats against Matt and Trey were what triggered it. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. And people see it as an attack on Muslims everywhere. And it's just not. People have come up with so many different reasons why we're doing this that are just completely not true. They have nothing to do with what we are doing, what I am doing. When I'm making my film, this is my act of non-violent protest to people like Mohammed Bouyeri and to anyone else who believes that they can use violence to shut people up, to avoid criticism. I don't care if they're Muslim. I don't care if Mohammed Bouyeri was a complete psychopath and that his beliefs have no basis in the Quran and that 99.9% of Muslims are perfectly decent, nice people and that the Quran has nothing but nice verses. I don't care. I don't think that's true. The only things I know about the Quran are things I've heard from people that are critical of the Quran. So I've never read it myself, so I can't really say for sure. I am not attacking Islam. I am not attacking Muslims. I'm not even attacking the Prophet. In the video that I make, nothing in this video is going to have any resemblance to the actual historical figure of Muhammad. Nothing in there it's not stuff that was said in the Quran. It's not stuff that I think Muhammad actually did. It's nothing like, I don't think Muhammad was actually like this at all. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's pure farce. And the point is that I am protesting not Muhammad, not Islam, not Dawah films, not any individual who just happens to call himself a Muslim. I am doing this in protest to people who use violence to suppress messages that they believe the world shouldn't see. People that want to protect themselves from these images, people that want to protect their gods from criticism. I'm sorry. But I think that there are certain things, I think everything should be subject to criticism. I think the fact that you are trying to defend yourself from criticism, defend the gods from criticism, defend your prophets from criticism, defend anything from criticism by acts of extreme violence and terrorism. And make no mistake, that's what this is. Stabbing a letter to someone's chest is an act of terrorism. It's saying, shut up or I will shut you up. And I'm saying, I will not allow these people to just stand up and think that they can get away with this kind of activity. And I am not a violent person. I'm not the kind of person that can hunt them down and silence them myself. This is the only way that I know of getting the message across, of defending myself, of defending my right to express criticism at whatever I want, whatever I feel needs to be criticized. I don't like the way that Thunderf00t has handled this. I can understand why he's doing it. He's doing it because he's angry. He is angry at people like Muhammad Boyeri, who killed Theo Van Gogh, killed him, murdered him in cold blood for the crime of trying to get a message across that he believed was important. But I don't agree with the way Thunderf00t has been doing it. I think if any person who came across and they'd never heard of Dawah and they'd never heard of Thunderf00t and they started watching these videos, Thunderf00t would definitely come across as the more extreme of the two, and that's not a good way of going about things. It's not helpful. But I understand what he's doing, and I think it's really, really tragic that people like Dawah Films, who pride themselves on being reasonable, moderate, religious people, educated, thoughtful, religious people, that they would be so quick to condemn someone like Thunderf00t, and so slow to condemn someone like Muhammad Boyeri, so slow to condemn those people that engage in acts of violence and rage, those people who are goading people like Thunderf00t into his actions. You attack and criticize Thunderf00t for goading Muslims into a war or into violence. But where was your anger when the people that goaded him stood proudly in mobs and burned flags and rioted and killed because of a message that they believe people shouldn't be allowed to say? So on May 20th, I'm going to be releasing my film. It is going to feature the Prophet Muhammad. And it is going to be as offensive as I possibly can, because I want these individuals to know, no matter what their religion, no matter what their race, I don't care. I don't care what they look like, I don't care what they sound like, gender, species. I don't care. You do not have the right to engage in acts of violence and terrorism to suppress my right to criticize your religion. I don't want there to be any violence. I have no intention of goading anyone into violence. But I do not believe that these people should be allowed to continue acting the way they are without people engaging in protest. And this is a form of non-violent, reasonable protest. And it's a damn sight more grown up than going out and killing people. I'm doing this because I think it's important. I'm doing this because this is the most grown up, the most adult, and the most powerful way I can think of to engage in an act of non-violent protest against these people that is actually going to get their attention. That's going to make them realize if you continue to behave in the way you are behaving, it is going to be worse for you, not better. You are not suppressing this message. You are amplifying it. You are making it bigger and brighter, and you're bringing the whole world in to see. Anyone out there that was planning on making videos or releasing images of Muhammad and has decided not to because of this whole Thunderf00t, Dawah Films fiasco. A protest needs numbers. It can't just be a small handful of people. It can't just be a bunch of angry trolls. We need people to stand up there and say, I'm doing this, and this is why I am doing it. So everyone, even Dawah Films, you may not agree with what I am doing. You may feel as though that I shouldn't be drawing the Prophet Muhammad. But I think to some extent you do agree with freedom of speech. And I think it's something that even you can take a part in. You can recognize the value of a system that allows us to do what we're doing, even if you don't agree with it. I mean, obviously I'm not asking you to draw Muhammad, but draw a picture of Jesus, draw a picture of Krishna, draw a picture of Darwin, draw a picture of me. I don't care. But acknowledge that this system that allows people to engage in criticism free of fear of the violence and horror of these individuals that are taking your religion and making people like Thunderfoot, and are making people that hate, that despise, that want to engage in acts of violence in retribution. Join us in condemning these actions, in non-violently protesting the people that believe that they can control what we say through violence. I think I said all I can. Thank you.